We used to go to church ever since I was born. I remember always having to dress nice, remembering always having to be on my best behavior. I remember also being asked not to come back because I wasn't paying attention during the service. I kind of just went on as life would go on because after my parents separated, it was kind of mixed emotions of not knowing where I should be or who I should be. Dad's no longer coming around. I think that's when I kind of started my rebellion stage. The rebellion stage of, my grades in school were starting to drop, not getting along with people I used to get along with. The attitude started to change from, wanting to be around people to getting into the wrong crowds. I always considered myself not very book smart, but very street smart, because that's all we did was we would just run the streets and do whatever. A couple years after we had our first child, me and Sarah got married. A couple years after that, when we had our second child. At that time, I would say I had the dream going. I thought just because, we young, we got our house, we're both working full-time jobs, things were going good. My wife's dream was always to be in the medical field. In order to help make ends meet, she was working on the weekends. So it was basically the fact of never being home. And then when she was home, she was studying. So it was pretty much always me and the kids on one side of the house, and she'd be behind the desk or something, studying all the time. Everything just started getting kind of tense with her being so busy and me taking care of the kids and having to start picking up and doing more around the house, to where it was pretty much more of a turning into like a roommate situation. When we did talk, a lot of it was bickering at each other of things that need to get done, or things we should be doing. At that point, I was starting to feel depressed and kind of had no idea what to do. When my oldest daughter turned 18, she moved out of the house. I felt abandoned again. Daughter moved out, didn't even tell us. Me and the wife couldn't get along. She kept asking us to leave. It was just, that's when it really hit me hard. Is when I felt like everybody was kind of giving up on me. I would go to work, I'd come home, I'd turn on the TV. That was my whole entire evening. And I started praying for Sarah because I tried everything that I knew how to do. From humanly being taught, I tried everything I knew how to do, and nothing was working. I found out that she was watching videos from Calvary online for a few months. Not long after I started praying for her, and a lady at work actually showed her the website and told her to start watching the sermons. It was just one of those days that we were normally having. I was, again, sitting on the couch, and she was over sitting at the kitchen table doing her puzzle. And she actually said, "We need to start going to church." She kind of knew how I felt about church in a way. And so to know how much she actually hated church was really surprising when she got up and said, "We need to go to church." First time we walked in, we were obviously not hand in hand. We were just kind of walking in, trying not to be noticed at all. Because from our background, we knew how judgmental people can be and how we can be frowned upon easily. So it was sit in the far back and try not to be noticed. Cal Clary noticed us as we were leaving that day. He noticed we were new, and it was really, really nice to be noticed. I was asked to start welcoming doors. I was like, yeah, I can hold a door, I can greet people, say good morning, how are you doing? That's fairly simple, right? Welcoming everybody that we once were into a place where they can feel like it's home and not feel judged. So one Sunday we were at church and it was during communion. I just couldn't do it no more. So I broke down in the middle of church and I prayed to God and I asked him, take my life, take everything, take the heart that's in my chest and renew it. My wife and I got baptized on the same day and it was good. Yeah, it was exciting. It was to know that I've been given a new chance at life and that the old me didn't have to be me anymore, that I can actually start my new life with God in it instead of trying to say I can do it on my own. You don't have to go through life feeling that you're unloved or abandoned, that there is a person waiting for you to find him, that is right there next to you, waiting for you to find him, that has always loved you, and that has never gave up on you.